This is our trip to Dominican Republic. We flew to Santo Domingo, rented a car, and made our way to our all-inclusive resort. And on the grounds, they actually had an area where they had some rhinoceros iguanas. It was next to the beach, and the first thing we decided to do was head to the zoo. Unfortunately, they didn't take U.S. money like they had in the past, so they said it was a couple-minute drive to the bank to do a money exchange. Unfortunately, we didn't have our passport, but a friendly local decided to do an exchange for us. But at the zoo, we were pleased to find the Rycord iguana. That's Kelly taking a picture of the enclosure. It's just a spectacular species, one that we would later be heading to go see in the wild. I think I forgot to mention how crazy the roads were. Our short trip to the bank actually took us about 45 minutes because the best way to describe the roads is if you took a handful of spaghetti and threw it on the wall. And that's what the roads look like. Our trip the next day to Lago Enriquez was just as crazy. We got lost in just about every town, but Kelly was thrilled taking pictures of different things he saw along the way. But eventually we made it. There were a number of rhinoceros iguanas right in the parking lot there to greet us. But like everywhere else, they wouldn't take U.S. currency, but they directed us to a bank that would be closing shortly. And we needed money for the boat ride to the island, for a hotel room, and of course gas so we could get back. We found the bank, and after a bit of an ordeal, we were actually able to exchange money. As we walked out of the bank, Kelly felt such relief. He held his hands up high and yelled, "We've got money!" Yeah, crazy Americans announcing to the world that we had money, so come and rob us. At any rate, we found a cheap hotel for about $20. We didn't stay at a Hotel Iguana this time because we found one that was $5 more that supposedly had air conditioning. Unfortunately, the air conditioning didn't work. The next morning, we began our tour around the lake and a boat trip out to the island. If you've noticed some of the pictures of the rhino iguanas, you'll notice this one is actually eating a dead rhino iguana, just the tail hanging out. I've seen rhino iguanas basking close together in ways you would never be able to duplicate in captivity. Also seen Rycord iguanas basking within inches of rhino iguanas. In this picture, you look through there, yep, American crocodile. The lake is full of them, and it's spectacular to see. We took a boat tour around part of the lake and out to the island in the middle of the lake where they also have Rycord iguanas. Just spectacular to see the scenery around the island, see the crocodiles, see the rhino iguanas, large and small. The Dominican Republic is actually on the island of Hispaniola, which also includes Haiti. In Haiti, they speak French, and here in the Dominican Republic, they speak Spanish. And this lake is located actually just a couple miles from the border of Haiti, where they also have rhino iguanas. It's spectacular to see the birds, just to see the crocodiles and everything we experienced on the boat ride as we made our way to the island in the middle of the lake. About this time, we're feeling pretty relaxed, and we forgot about the ordeals and worries of, will we have money to be able to buy gas to get home, to get a hotel room that night. And of course the biggest worry, just the drive back. It's just absolutely crazy as you navigate between vehicles coming in both directions at you and around you, and motor scooters running every which way. Well, looks like we've made it to the island, and we're looking for that rye quartz. Unfortunately, there's one back behind the stickers. Can't get close enough to get a good picture, but eventually you see some. Mixture of rye quartz like this and rhino iguanas in the next picture. There's a little structure there and a shade structure. Some of the rhinos looked spectacular. Some of the rye quartz looked quite thin, but just interesting to see them. Oftentimes the large males would run quickly away. Kelly had seen about enough and had to sit and relax. And of course, I had to take a few more pictures. Just a spectacular island, and just spectacular to see the lizards and just all the different views and landscapes. But we made our way back off the island, checked out a few more rhinos, took our last lake pictures. Just spectacular, the dead trees and the still water. Headed to the car, chased away the rhino iguanas so we could head down the road a ways to the cave. And inside the cave they had some interesting carvings. You can look back across the street over the lake. There also was a cool swimming hole that unfortunately I lost my pictures of. But on our way back, we went near the Haiti border and I got those pictures of the flamingos. But we made the journey back to our hotel in Santo Domingo. And as you can see, it was around Halloween time, so they had all their decorations out. But we enjoyed the food, enjoyed the hotel room, enjoyed not having to drive. They had some interesting little skits going on, all sorts of stuff available for sale. Some you definitely don't want. And then it was to 27 Falls. This was a tour we took to the northern side of the island. Unfortunately, they didn't like my canes, so I had to rent a pair of water shoes. And we hiked up to the top of a hill and then made our way down the 27 Falls. Some of them you would slide down, and others you would jump off the cliffs. And it was just a spectacular adventure. As if you've watched any of our hiking videos, you know Kelly and I like to jump off cliffs. We were some of the only ones to do flips, and some of the people who couldn't or were afraid to jump off the cliffs, on occasion there were ladders that they could go down. But just a lot of fun. I could also mention that most of the people on the tour were Russians. The place where we stayed, I guess, was predominantly an area where Russians stayed. And so we heard very little English. As when we went to see the rhinos and rycords, they said we were the only Americans they'd seen in years. So not a big tourist destination for people from the U.S., but just a spectacular time. We had a lot of fun sliding down, hiking, and seeing some of the sights on this tour.
I got you on video. Jerry, do a flip. I'm hoping I'm taking a video. Yeah, it's going now. I think I got it on video.
Fortunately, he did get it on video. Unfortunately, these were the only couple videos I had from the whole trip. But 27 falls, just spectacular, crystal blue, clear water, jumping down waterfalls, sliding down rocks into the water, just a lot of fun. And as in typical Kelly video fashion, he doesn't know how to shut the thing off, so I had to come up out of the water and turn the camera off. But that was pretty much the end of that tour. We had lunch, loaded back in the bus. This was our guide. Stopped and saw a few sights along the way. But a spectacular trip to Dominican Republic. Hope you enjoyed it.